What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sang, and today, this is very interesting. This is going to be a very interesting video. So, you guys remember a couple days ago when I dropped the video where it says, "Ask me anything" as a gay pastor, right? We reacted to that, we looked at it together, and then right after that, I did liberal Christians versus conservative Christians. And guess who was in the video? The gay pastor from the video we had just did a few days prior. Now, this video, it's from The Fallen State, which is basically Jesse Lee Peterson, and you'll never guess who he's talking to. It's the gay pastor. I promise you I'm not searching this guy out. I promise you. This is just so random how I keep running into videos with him in it. And I was like, you know what? I just gotta do it. I just gotta react to it, because I was literally gonna react to a different Jesse Lee Peterson video, and then this popped up and I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way, is that the same guy? And I zoomed in and it was. Basically, this video is titled, "We're ending this right now. Pastor storms off the interview." Let's get into it and see what happened. Because if you ever seen Jesse Lee Peterson, he's very smart, but he is also a troll. He is a top level troll, so I already know this is going to be interesting. Oh, okay. Because I'm like, what is this? It's a
It's amazing! It's amazing!
I support you, my guy.
Welcome to the Fallen State. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Help us fight censorship by hitting the thumbs up button, and then don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. You can ring my bell. Ring the bell, all right? I have with me today Pastor Kurt D. Thomas. He's a senior pastor of the Renewed Church of Los Angeles. Am I right?
That is
Renewed Church of Los Angeles. Thank you for coming.
I'm not even shocked he's a pastor of an LA church, because we all know how messed up LA is.
Thank you for having me.
I absolutely appreciate it.
Thank you.
And so, were you called to be a pastor, or did you go to school for it?
Well, at the age of 9, I felt the presence of God over me. I grew up in a Pentecostal church, so I went through that entire Pentecostal experience. And it wasn't until I matriculated through college that I decided to get a bachelor's degree in theology, or to study theology while I was at Stillman College.
Oh, I see. So God didn't call you. You decided to go to school for it.
No. I believe that I was called by God to do what I did.
This is wild, because knowing this background, every time we learn more background information since the first video. This is a weird rabbit hole of Pastor Kurt, what Thomas was his name or whatever. So he actually went to school for theology, which is crazy, because in the last video we learned that he reads his Bible every day, yet he still decides to live the way he lives. And then he also still decides to pick and choose how he wants to interpret verses from the Bible. This is so weird. This is like extremely weird. Because like, bro, you know it's there and you know what you want to do, and you just keep overlooking things and it doesn't make sense. Like, none of it makes sense. Why even go through all of this if you're just going to do what you want to do anyways? That just seems like a waste of money for schooling.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
And why do you believe that?
Why do I believe that I was called? I know that I'm called to do what I do because because I have a passion and I have a desire to see people elevated from where they are to where they need to be.
Oh, okay. And when you say where they are, do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state?
Explain what you mean by that.
Fallen. You're a pastor. You should know.
Yeah, but explain what do you mean by a fallen state?
Do you know? Do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state? You know what fallen means, right?
A fallen state means that they've fallen from the grace of God.
Yes.
Is that what you're? Okay.
Right.
So I believe that that humans have fallen from a fallen state, but with the whole deal with reconciliation, I think that God reconciles us back to himself.
So you do agree then that human beings have fallen away from God, right?
That humans have fallen away from God according to Adam and all
Right.
that, yes.
And then at some point, those who seek Him will come back.
Those who seek him are that he's called back to them, yes, then they will.
Is it possible to overcome that fallen state?
It is possible to overcome that fallen state if we accept Christ back into our hearts.
Right.
So
How does one know when they're in a fallen state?
Well, a person will know that they're in a fallen state when they don't live a life that's acceptable. I believe that's really acceptable to themselves. So like a person that is a drug addict or a person that is drinks too much liquor.
So before he finishes, you notice how he worded that? When he was like, I believe a person will find out they're in it when they realize that they are living in a state that's not acceptable. And he caught himself for a second and said to themselves that he knows that it's not acceptable to God, because this is a religious talk right now, so we can speak in these terms without having to work around it for all the people that aren't religious, right? So that's how you know you're in a fallen state. So once you figure that out, right, then you're just kind of like, okay, I need help to get out of here. And a lot of people, they'll turn to religion, and religion will help them up out of that, right? Since this is a religious talk. But he purposely swerved from saying what he should have said. And I think he purposely swerved because of how he's living, right? He knows better, he just does not want to do it. This is so weird.
A person that maybe possibly not living their best life or doing what they're called to do. I think that those people are the people that find themselves in a fallen state.
So when they're not living their life according to God, then they're in a fallen state?
If you're not living a life that is according to the principles of God, yes.
Then you're in a fallen state?
Then you're in a fallen state.
So if I read, and I don't know if it's true or not, I'd like to ask the person before I mention,
Okay.
know if it's true or not. Are you a homosexual?
I am a same gender loving man.
So does that mean you're a homosexual?
It means that I'm a same gender loving man.
But just for...
And this is how he's sidestepping it, because now that Jesse got him to confirm, because you saw how Jesse sat there and was like, living according to God. And he was like, the principles of God, sure. Now Jesse's like, got you. Because now you just agreed to that. And he's a pastor, so he technically should know better. But see how Jesse got him to... He lured him in with that bait, and he took it. I told you, because at first he purposely set it off for a reason, but Jesse corrected that. Like,
I'm black and slow.
Okay.
And just for the record, does that mean you're a homosexual?
I could be considered a homosexual.
Are you considered? I don't want to think of you if you're not.
I'm a homosexual.
You're a homosexual?
Yes.
yeah,
And
say
so
it,
you're
bro.
a homosexual pastor?
But I am a homosexual pastor, yes.
How long have you been a homosexual pastor?
I've been a pastor for 8 years, senior pastor, and then before that, prior to that, I was a youth pastor.
Oh, okay. Why do you think that God would call a person, a homosexual, to be a pastor but not change him?
So,
That's a good question.
I don't think that God majors where we minor. And so I think that what happens is I think that we put limitations on God that God doesn't have. For example, we could, if you go to seminary or something like that, you find out that there's a thought process that God could possibly be a woman, or that God could be this, or that God could be that.
Oh, you just like peed away all your money for theology school, because what are you talking about? Look at Jesse's face. He's just like, really, my man, really.
I can be whatever it is that you need him to be.
You believe that he can be a woman?
I believe that God can be whatever it is that you need him to be.
So can he be a homosexual too if you needed him to be one?
Well, honestly, I don't think that the Bible says that God is neither male nor female.
Right. So how can he be a woman then if he's not a female?
Well, I'm saying that. So there's a book that's by who's the book by? There's a book that is written. It's called. What is it called?
Well, that's all right about the title. What about the book?
But in the book, the principles of the book talk about God swaying himself to this spirit, and it's called The Shack by W.M. Paul Young.
He said W.M. Paul Young, The Shack. We're gonna look this up. Okay, guys, we're back. I looked it up because there are some people that write books on Christianity, and it's like actually follows the Bible, where it talks about certain things and puts it into historical context, yada, yada, yada. I looked up what the pastor was talking about, right? It is a fiction book. So it's just a make-believe book. It's not real. I don't know why he brought this up as an example after saying, like, God could be whatever. I read this book. It's like, yeah, I guess my imagination can make things whatever they want to. That don't mean it's real.
And so if you read that book, then you find out that God basically finds himself congruent to whatever state of mind a person is in. And so
he just said if you read this book, you find out God can do blah, blah, blah. Bruh, it's not real. It's fiction. It's not non-fiction. It's fiction. Do you know what fiction is?
At one state, God is a Jewish carpenter. At one state, God shows himself as a big black woman in the kitchen cooking.
Big black woman?
A black woman in the kitchen cooking. And
So you think God could be a big black woman?
I think that God can be whatever it is that you need God to be at that moment.
Do you think that God...
Well, Harry Potter's real. Just so you guys know, Lord of the Rings is real. Superman's real because he read a fake novel about how somebody wrote what they think God is, even though the Bible literally tells us. And it's... I read this book and it said X, Y, and Z. It's fiction. It's not... Every video with him just gets worse. I swear, if anything else pops up on my timeline and it randomly has him in it... I can't.
God can be a homosexual too?
If God needs to be a homosexual, I think that he was, but I don't liken him to that. I don't liken God to be...
okay.
To be an isolated gender.
So you believe that God could be a woman, a big black woman, a homosexual?
God could be whatever you need God to be.
And so does that person make God what they want him to be in their mind so they can accept being wrong? Or does God switch genders and all that kind of stuff?
I don't think that that we create God to be whatever we want God to be in our minds. I think that it's based on experiences. The experiences of that person allows God to transform himself in whatever it is that person needs to be. For an example, if you've ever gone to Africa, or if you've ever gone to a part of the world where there's no westernized religions, to where people they don't have an isolated form of who Jesus is or what he looks like, opposed to what you were talking about earlier.
Right.
We don't know what he looks like, and so since that.
Once again, this man paid for theology school, and he was like, we don't know what they look like. It literally says it in the Bible. Like, it literally says it in the Bible.
God becomes whatever it is that person's experience.
But those countries that don't believe in God, they are S-hole countries, and they're all trying to come here now and bring their S-hole attitudes.
Their S-hole? What is that?
Huh?
What is that?
What is S-hole country? It's an S-H-I-T hole.
Oh, you're saying that they're S-hole countries.
Right, because those people don't believe in God.
I wouldn't say that they don't believe in God. I would say
they don't believe in the real God. They have their own made-up God based on their imagination, right?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that we experience God on the level that we know God. So if you have somebody that is an Indian and they've never had anyone explain to them the ideology of God that is created here in Western culture, then I think that
What
that
is
person,
Western culture?
Western culture is where we are now. It's,
Jesse
it's
trolling.
what we
Jesse's
operate
trolling
in a canonized version of the Bible in which we accept as the authentic truth of
But
who
Western culture is the best culture, right?
I wouldn't say that.
Then why everybody trying to come here? If we're not the best, if Western culture is not the best culture, why everybody trying to come to what's not the best culture?
Is everybody trying to come here?
Everybody and their mama. Have you noticed we can't even keep the illegals out?
I wouldn't
The
say that
illegals are
everybody's
breaking.
trying to come here,
Yeah,
but
they
I would
are.
say that there are people that are trying
From all over the world.
to come here from all over the world.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if we are not the best country, why are they trying to come here? Why don't they go to the best country?
We could consider ourselves to be the best country,
But we
and
are
maybe
the best.
and
And that's
maybe.
because of Western culture.
Well, I wouldn't use the word best. Maybe I would use the word we're probably a country where people are allowed to be free and be themselves.
So we're the best.
Before they got into this, he had said that we have a canonized, westernized version of the Bible or whatever. He had said something pretty crazy, and then Jesse started trolling him into this, and I forgot to pause it. But once again, he paid all that money for theology school to say something like that. It's like, bro, do you even know the history of like where this came from? Christianity wasn't made here in America. Like, what are you how is Christianity westernized? Like, how is it canonized for here? Like, the Bible is literally based off scripts that were written in like Greek and Hebrew. Like, that's how we get our versions. It gets worse. It gets worse.
So I want to go back. You say God is a black woman.
I didn't say God was a black woman. I used the book as an analogy
That God was a black
to
woman.
show us that God could be whatever it is that we need God to be.
Amazing. Do you believe that book?
I believe that God could be whatever it is that we want God to be.
Really?
It's crazy. He read like a Harry Potter type book, and he's just like, this book said it. I guess Quidditch is real. I mean, I know they got the leagues and stuff, but I guess the brooms could really fly, and we can get up out of here. That's crazy.
Yes.
And so you've been a homosexual all your life, you said earlier, right?
At the age of
You wanna
nine, I knew that I liked the same sex. Yes.
How did you become that way?
I didn't become that way. I knew that was my innate nature to be to like men.
And so how did your nature go from a natural nature of being a man or male to an unnatural nature of becoming a woman? How did that happen?
You said the unnatural nature of me becoming a woman?
Yeah, how, you were born a natural male, right?
You're born a natural male.
Right, you were, right?
I am a male currently sitting here in front of you.
Why Jesse say it like that? He not trans, he gay. I guess Jesse like all y'all the same. Why he say? Even he was like, excuse me. Oh, sorry. I wasn't expecting that. That was kind of funny. I'm
But
sorry.
how did you go from being a natural male to an unnatural woman?
Who's an unnatural woman?
But isn't homosexuality is like being a female feelings?
No,
What is it?
no.
What is it exactly?
Being gay is, or being gay, being a homosexual, whatever term that a person wants to
Right.
use to identify themselves. It's an innate state of being. It means that this is who that person is. If I'm not a woman, I'm a man sitting here in front of you having a conversation. I have a penis, just like you have.
Well,
a
you
penis.
do have the male parts, but now they're cutting that off too. Did you hear about that? We'll get to that. But do you feel inwardly? Do you feel like a male or you feel like a female?
I am a male sitting here in front of you.
No, but what do you feel
I
like?
feel
on
like
inside?
a male. And
Inside?
I am a male sitting here in front
I
of you.
realize that, but inside, do you feel like a man or you feel like a woman?
I am a male sitting here in front of you. So that answers your question, right?
I know.
I don't feel like anything because I am a male.
trolling?
You don't
Like
feel like
this.
neither male nor woman.
I am a male sitting here in front of you.
I realize that, but what made you think you're a homosexual then? If there's not a
What makes
feeling on
me-
your side, why do you think you're
Homosexuality is not a feeling; it's a state of being. It's who the person innately is.
Oh.
It has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with creating a feeling that you're talking about. It's an innate. It's the innate nature of who that person is. I innately am who I am. Me being gay or homosexual has nothing to do for me with being a man. It has everything to do with my preference and who I choose to sleep with.
What does the word innately mean? What does that mean? I'm black and slow. I don't know what that means.
Oh, sorry. Oh, Jesse, why he trolling him like this? Oh my gosh. I need a minute. Wait a minute. This is probably the most I ever laughed in any of these reaction videos. I don't know why he playing with him like this. I don't know why he doing this. Should I just start saying that to people? Be like, because remember that the Vice panel debate where it's like, as a black woman, as a disabled one, I should just start saying like, oh, you know, I'm black and stupid, you know, by me being a conservative Christian. Can you please break it down for me? That's what libs would love to hear. They would just be like, I knew it. Now I can say what I want to say. All right, let me stop. Okay. All right.
The word innate. The word innate means that it is that I'm not changing. I'm not becoming something else. I am who I am.
Just before we started the show, you said that you introduced your, is he your husband or your wife? Is that your husband? He gonna be your husband or your wife?
Oh, this is wild.
I'm gonna end this interview.
Why?
Because we're ending this right now.
Why you want to end?
We're ending it.
Well,
Take
wait,
this
come
off.
back.
Take this off. You
Kurt,
want to
listen.
have a real conversation?
I'm
Call
having-
me.
I'm-
No, you're bullshitting me,
Come
and
back.
I'm not gonna be a part of that. Come take this off of me, or I'm gonna take it with me.
But why are you running?
Come take this off of me, or I'm gonna take it with me. Please take it off of me.
Kurt was like, you're not about to
You're
disrespect my
disrespecting
husband
me.
like that.
But no, I'm
So-
asking you really.
Please take it off.
Am
or
I
I'm gonna
asking him
take it
real
with
serious
me.
question?
No, I'm saying, just let them take their recording. Just trying to get a reaction.
To be fair, if he went like this on somebody's wife, dude got up regardless. Oh, this was. My thing is, the gay pastor, bro, you didn't research who you were interviewing with. Now, to be fair, I didn't really do that prior to my 3 interviews, but I'm like this big, right? It seemed like, because this is kind of older, the little media run you be doing as the gay pastor, you definitely should have researched who this was before you hopped on. Jesse Lee Peterson is known to be a troll, and yeah, he trolled you, and it took you this long to be like, all right, get this off of me, I'm up out of here. This is like what's that show called? It's on Adult Swim. I think it's called like Eric Andre. I think that's the show. See, now I gotta look it up. Yeah, it is. It's the Eric Andre show. He literally just trolls people, and it's so funny the amount of people that go on there and have no clue what they're signing up for. He definitely should have did his homework before hopping on this, because, man, this,
It's okay.
you got trolled hard. And then to sit there and be like, I'm black and stupid. You got to explain it to me.
But tell me why
is
you
it
running.
down?
He should have added old to it, too. It's like, but I'm black, old, and stupid. I need you to explain it to me.
I'm not running, sir, but when you want to have a real conversation, you have my information.
But you
call
said
me.
that you were gonna.
When you want to have a real conversation,
You said
When
that
you
you gonna
wanna have
marry
a real
this-
conversation,
You said you
you
gonna
can call
marry
me.
this guy.
when you want to have, he's a guy. You're calling him a female. You're being disrespectful.
I asked if you gonna call him husband or wife. Come back. Do you want to be interviewed? Oh. Amazing. Well, they gone.
Well, they gone. Yeah, like I said, you could have said that about his wife.
Oh,
He'd
amazing. They
have
gone. They
bounced.
walked away.
He'd have bounced.
So the deal is that was
Oof.
Pastor Kurt D. Thomas, And Kurt D. Thomas is a senior pastor of the Renewed Church of Los Angeles. And he is a admitted homosexual pastor. And what he does is he works with men. They host a monthly men's group, they say. So I wanted to know about all that. But just before we started the show, he introduced this other male, a black male, that he said that they're going to get married soon. And I know that these people are doing that and they're calling it marriage. So I want to just kind of lay out that first. I had no idea that he was going to run, because if they are proud of being what they are and they say that it's normal, you would think that they would want to talk about it. But apparently not. And so I don't know what's going to happen, but he's gone. There's no use in praying for him anymore. He's gone. I wanted to ask him about the Great White Hope, Donald Trump. I wanted to ask, how does this work? If we are in a fallen state, we should overcome. I had a lot of questions. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. That was a short one. Help us fight censorship by hitting the thumbs up.
Oh, that might be the most I laughed in any of these reaction videos. That was hilarious. Yeah, bro, he left because, like, you kept asking him trans questions. He's not trans. He's just gay. It is a difference. All right. I've been laughing this whole time. I'm gonna end it. All right. I'm gonna end it. What did you think? And let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss when I drop a video. And I'll see y'all next time. You already know who it is. It's Sam.